Welcome to Commodity Labs, equipping you with useful data, insights, and conversation starters around commodities markets. Today, we are discussing the new global refining landscape and the Dangote mega project. Ambitious is a word not only used to describe my low-fat diet, but also Aliko Dangote, the Nigerian business mogul worth over $13 billion USD, making him the wealthiest African for 10 consecutive years. That is, if we leave out Elon Musk, who was born in South Africa and later became a US citizen in 2002. Dangote started his entrepreneurial journey in an upper-middle-class family selling cartons of sweets as a kid, later graduating from university in Egypt when his uncle agreed to lend him money to start a business, importing Thai rice and Brazilian sugar. He bought these at wholesale prices from international suppliers, then sold them in small quantities in his local area with lucrative markups. He eventually vertically integrated, building a plant to produce what he had been importing. It was around this time that he was also awarded a state-owned cement company, with which he constructed a cement manufacturing plant with his own money, plus a loan from an affiliate of the World Bank. Now, for the first time in his career, he is taking a large position in oil by building the continent's largest oil refinery, humbly named Dangote. With this, he also hopes that the financial returns are sizable enough to help him buy Arsenal, the English football club, an acquisition he has been yearning for years. The Dangote mega refinery's construction has not been smooth sailing. It has faced years of delays with debt restructuring, inefficiencies with contractors, issues accessing foreign exchange, potential tweaks in the refinery's design to adapt to recently changing refining economics, and a strong arming by the state to sell a stake to NNPC, Nigeria's national oil company. A realistic start date with all the information we currently have is 2025 despite the publicly advertised H2 2023. In theory, the refinery will be able to supply 100% of Nigeria's domestic oil fuel demand, but with the country suffering from acute foreign currency shortages, it may be forced to export a significant proportion of refined products in return for USD. The wider economic implications of this project are vast, with 57,000 plus people being employed by the refinery and its affiliates, with dozens of companies and additional infrastructure being set up around Dangote in the Lekki Free Trade Zone in anticipation of the refinery's grand eventual opening. Zooming out, the world is building refineries at a startlingly rapid pace. Oil refining capacity is growing at a speed not seen for nearly 2 generations, with the 2023 to 2024 increase likely to be the largest 2-year increase in net refining capacity globally in 45 years, according to RBC Capital Markets. To list of the largest new refinery projects and their capacities, Al Zour, Kuwait, 615,000 barrels per day, commenced operations in November last year, yet to reach full capacity. Jazan, Saudi Arabia, 400,000 barrels per day. This has been gradually coming online since 2021. Jieyang, Guangdong, China, 400,000 barrels per day. This is now operational. Beaumont, Texas, USA, 250,000 barrels per day. The largest single addition in the US in 10-plus years. This expansion project is part of the refinery owned by ExxonMobil and is now in full operation as of end of March. Duqm, Oman, 230,000 barrels per day. This will be the third refinery in Oman, which is well positioned on the Arabian Sea to take crude coming from the Arab Gulf and the rest of Asia. Karbala, Iraq, 140,000 barrels per day. Sentuo, Ghana, 120,000 barrels per day. This will be Ghana's largest refining complex. Construction began in June 2021 with no solid deadline for completion. During the COVID pandemic, refining was a primary choke point with high costs and razor-thin or negative margins, which caused several refineries to shut down. Those left standing that relied on natural gas as an input later had margins further hit by expensive gas resulting from the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Now, this new ramp-up in refining capacity stems from many drivers, including a fluke. the simultaneous appearance of projects which were delayed over the pandemic. A general consensus that oil will still be needed for decades to come, especially when considering petrochemicals, despite ESG pressures and favorable refining economics in the past year, have also refreshed investor sentiments. The increase in global refining capacity will put downward pressures on oil products, especially gasoline and diesel, over the next few years. Thanks for listening. You can follow our podcast here for updates on new episodes or subscribe to our written insights for free at commoditylabs.substack.com. Thanks for listening.